It's important that we realize that we are no longer in golden times. It's reported that there are over 50 million millennials that are freelancers right now. So in today's training video, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you 10 real, actual work from home jobs that you can get started with right now. Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. Tamia Dawkins here. If you've never seen my face before, I would love to invite you to go ahead and subscribe, because on my channel, we talk about all things connected to living the intentional lady life so that you can build a life and a business that I know that you'll absolutely love. Why? Because of the fact that you built it. So you might be surprised that once again, I am on my channel talking about the importance of you possibly obtaining a work from home job. Now, I am not anti obtaining a corporate work from home job, especially if your circumstance is in a place where you need to do that. No judgment from here. I totally get it and I totally understand. Most oftentimes I do promote the concept of entrepreneurship because in my experience, it has been a great thing that I've done. Now, with that being said, I really just wanted to make sure that I put it out the disclaimer that if you are wanting to become an entrepreneur of your dreams, that it's important that you start from somewhere, and that somewhere might be you going ahead and getting a work from home job with a corporate business, so that then you can go ahead after you've been able to get the stable income that you want and simultaneously build the online business, for instance, that you have absolutely been dreaming of. But it's important that you understand your own personal circumstance and situation. Maybe you have children that you have to consistently provide for, or maybe it's yourself that you have to consistently provide for. It's important that you do what works for you so that you can get the best results for yourself and also your family. Now, it's important to understand that some of these positions that I'm gonna mention to you, you could definitely start right away. Some of them you definitely have to do some research about, and others, obviously, you would have to definitely go through a process of putting in your application and waiting for the employer to definitely get back to you about whether or not you are a good fit. Understand that there are different scales of work from home jobs that you can go ahead and apply for, or in some cases, technically start yourself. So one of the first jobs that you wanna go ahead and do some research in would be a customer service representative. Now, obviously, there are so many different corporations that you can work for that require for you to obviously be qualified to work as a customer service representative. I mean, in so many different areas, whether you're talking about in the medical field, or whether you're talking about, let's even say, a small business that's looking for someone to work as a customer service representative. There are several. Now, a lot of companies are looking for customer service representatives or agents to be able to do the following things, that being answering different phone calls that are inbound, or in some cases, they want you to make outbound calls as well. Some companies require for you to also have some sales experience. So if they have different customers that are calling in that are looking for information connected to a product or service that they have, they want to make sure that you're qualified as well to be able to possibly sell that product or service. There are also customer service positions that require for you to know different systems that they are utilizing within the company, as well as making sure that you are pretty up to date with regards to possibly doing data entry as well. And so this is why I love the concept of a customer service agent. Depending upon the company, depends on the need. So I believe that there are a variety of different positions out there that you can definitely find that you will be the greatest fit for. Now, unlike in the olden days, when it comes to customer service positions, you can make over $30,000 a year depending upon your experience as a customer service rep. And it's important that you make sure that you do the necessary research as it relates to being customer service representative, so that you can find out if there's a possibility that you can move up in the company that will be hiring. But it's important that you make sure that you ask the necessary questions. Now, I went ahead and I recently did a video that will help you to be able to really get prepped to begin to work from home. And so if you want to check out that video, I'll make sure that I put it right here. Now, some websites that you can go ahead and find an actual customer service position would be on Upwork.com, as well as Monster.com, and also Indeed.com. If you do a quick Google search, just simply looking for an online customer service representative position or either a remote position or work at home position, you'll oftentimes find different host sites that have different companies that post to those job boards to be able to find an employee just like you. Now, next up, you can go ahead and look into doing a work from home job as a social media manager. Now, just about like literally all companies are online. Even if they are brick and mortars, they still need to have a presence online. And then oftentimes you find that a lot of these companies that might be brick and mortars still have to be able to advertise, and a lot of them do that through Facebook and Instagram and several other platforms that allow for them to be able to run ads. They're looking for that visibility, and you can definitely get visibility by making sure that you have an online presence. But in most cases, we find that these different companies do not have a person like a social media manager to be able to manage their presence on social media. So you'll find several different jobs that will help you to become the social media manager that will be able to help companies gain the visibility and also manage their presence on social media as well. Now, careerbuilder.com as well as simplyhired.com and several other job board websites have really been expressing a demand for wanting more social media managers. Social media managers are known to make over $50,000 a year, depending upon the corporation that they are working for. And obviously, with everything just about going digital, these positions are always in demand. The only thing that you would have to do is make sure that you have the qualifications, because in most cases, there are different automated systems that most companies would like to use. Now, in some cases, the company might be looking for somebody to organically post, but if you apply and let them know that you have experience in terms of utilizing different automated systems, I'm almost sure that they'll definitely want to hire you because of the fact that they understand that your experience is more stretched than just posting on a day-to-day basis. So it's important that you just check to make sure that you have the qualifications that they're looking for in terms of certain systems, so that you can definitely make sure that you are working within that position to the best of your ability. Now, the next position is a data entry work from home job or position. And I believe that data entry has been around for some time. There are always corporations that are looking for employees that would be able to enter different levels of information into the systems that they actually use. Now, this may look like tracking different levels of inventory or making sure that shipments are going out okay. Whatever it is that the company is looking for you to do in terms of the job description could really vary. I really do connect data entry positions to kind of like customer service positions, as well as any kind of online administrative positions as well. They kind of are the same concept, but obviously in whatever corporation that you work for, they'll have different job descriptions for exactly what it is that they're looking for. Now, you can most oftentimes find a data entry position on job board websites like upwork.com, as well as freelancer.com, as well as indeed.com and monster.com as well. These jobs are literally everywhere. Now, most data entry positions are known to make over $30,000 a year. So it's important that obviously you try to find out if that's something that can work for you. If you try to see when you talk to the employee in your actual interview, if they'd be willing to give you exactly the amount that you are looking for on the basis of your learning skills or either your past experience. Now, one of the great things, once again, about data entry as well as customer service also is that you have the opportunity to possibly be able to set your own schedule. I mean, most of these jobs sometimes have different shifts that are on the clock 24 hours. So it's important that you make sure that you know the schedule that you're looking for, and there's a possibility that you could either work Monday through Friday or possibly just on the weekends part-time. So this next position it could be looked at as a work from home job. I mean, it is, but it definitely is different because of the fact that you wouldn't necessarily go to obtain this job through a corporation, but it is to go ahead and start a blog or to become a blogger. Bloggers are known to be able to make up to $30,000 a year in many cases, or even more. The thing that has to be acknowledged when it comes to becoming a blogger is that in most cases it does take time for your blog to go ahead and take off. But once you have the visibility that's necessary through going ahead to run ads towards your blog, like on a platform, let's say with Google AdSense, then people are more than likely able to go ahead and monetize their blogs through different affiliate links that they utilize on the blog. So this is definitely a work from home job that is great in the long run, but if you're looking to be able to make a salary because you've lost one recently, then you definitely could possibly go ahead and utilize the concept that I mentioned earlier, whereas you find a job that is a 9-to-5 that will get you that consistent income, but then at the same time you look into doing blogging while you go ahead and you work your 9-to-5. Now, most people that are building up blogs, they go ahead and they post different content in their area of expertise or in their niche that interests different readers. And in order to go ahead and promote your blog, once again, you utilize a platform like Google AdSense to get the word out, or in some cases, some people use Pinterest or even Facebook ads. Or in my case, I utilize my YouTube channel to be able to generate traffic to my blog as well. So there are several different ways that you can get people reading your blog, and then over time really picking up the momentum that is necessary to have it become monetized. Now, next you can go ahead and look into becoming a freelance writer. This is something that I went ahead and I did a couple of years ago, and I had the opportunity to be able to write different really interesting blog posts for a company that surrounded being a new mom. So that position allowed for me to get paid per article that I went ahead and did on a week-to-week basis. And really in some cases, they gave me the opportunity to go ahead and write as many articles as I wanted within that month, and they would pay me a certain agreed upon amount once I went ahead and I turned over that content. And that was super fun to be able to, even up into this day, have my articles listed on that site. So you could do something like that, to where as you go to different job boards seeking out a freelance writer's position, you can look on different job boards such as freelancer.com. Now, if you get a consistent flow of clientele, becoming a freelancer can be something that is absolutely amazing. Why? Because there's definitely the word of mouth concept that happens, to whereas let's say you're a graphic designer that does freelance work, if you go ahead and you get a couple of clients, then you can let them know that you are open, or you have a certain allotted amount of slots depending upon what your calendar looks like, and they can go ahead and share with their network that they're utilizing this graphic designer and you're absolutely amazing, and you'll find that your clients will begin to really pick up. Now, when it comes to freelance writers in particular, they usually make something around a little over $60,000, and some have the potential to really make even more than that. I'm talking about 6 figures depending upon clientele that you have. So any level of becoming a freelancer could definitely be a lucrative work from home job to definitely look into. Now, if you have a bit of a travel bug in our world, obviously today a lot of people are not traveling, but then there are quite a few people that are still traveling. They're doing it in just a way safer way. Many people have homes within a city area, and some people are just really getting in that mode to go ahead and move out of the city life because of everything that's going on in the world, and transitioning to, let's say, what could be known as their summer home. And with that being said, many people are looking for travel agents. So this is the next position that you can go ahead and look into doing as a work from home job. Now, it's important to understand that if you're a travel agent, you are obviously self-employed. In some cases, you can find a website that hosts different travel travel agents and really gives you all the tools that you need to go ahead and build up your own travel agency in terms of you becoming that entrepreneur if this is something that really interests you. Now, most travel agents make a little bit over $30,000 a year, but I'm pretty sure that if you look into different aspects of becoming a travel agent and different levels of commission and even beginning to build up your team, that there's a possibility that you can make even more. So this is definitely a work from home job that you definitely want to look into. Now, this next job is a translator. If you know more than one language, then this could definitely be a great work from home job for you. And translators can make up towards $50,000 a year. You would just have to search a website or a job board such as Upwork to look for different positions in this area. Now, obviously, some of these positions, depending upon the corporation and their needs, need for you to be able to have at least a bachelor's degree or some kind of certification so that they know that you're able to really do the position or your experience or whatever have you. But when you go ahead and do the necessary research, and you can find out what the qualifications are and definitely jump into getting a position as a translator. Next, you can really go ahead and look into becoming a web developer or either a website builder, and you could look into different websites like Invanto, whereas you could list your service. So if you have the giftings that would allow for you to create amazing websites, really do the necessary hard back-end work to be able to help people's websites really get up and running, and if you have the necessary patience to be able to do a lot of the back-end work that most business owners or corporations need, then definitely look into this position. Now, let me let you know that web developers or people that create websites make a lot of money. And I know this because my very first website, which was my online boutique called First Lady Boutique, was actually $1,500 for that website. And my husband actually got that website done for me as a surprise. And that was years ago, $1,500 years ago. Now, web developers and people that build out websites make upwards towards, in some cases, $100,000 a year or more, depending upon their client base. Why? Because everybody is online, and most oftentimes people that have the courage to go ahead and start businesses don't necessarily have the know-how with regards to making sure that their systems in terms of their websites are working. I know for me, I have a WordPress website, and I definitely get nervous when I'm going in the back end and I'm able to get some things to work out okay. I definitely have had to hire people in the past to make sure that the backlinking was okay and other things in terms of my website on WordPress was working great. So this is definitely an amazing work from home position that you can go ahead and look into, and it could definitely transition into you becoming a freelancer as well as an entrepreneur, whereas you build up possibly your own agency so that you can service your clients. Now, next, you can go ahead and look into becoming a transcriptionist, or in some cases, a medical transcriptionist, depending upon what it is that this employer is looking for. And you can go ahead and visit different websites, such as some of the ones that I mentioned, like monster.com as well as Indeed, and type in this particular position, and you'll definitely find a whole bunch of different ones. In some cases, if you have a particular company that you are really wanting to work for, let's say you've done a level of research, then maybe you could go ahead and give the company a call to see if they are hiring for this position in particular, or really any of the ones that I went ahead and I mentioned. I'm pretty sure that they have a job board that you could look at on the company's website as well. Now, transcriptionists usually make up towards about $35,000 a year. This position, you would go ahead and transcribe recorded dictations, and obviously you would have to be really good in terms of detail. You can definitely check out your local hospitals, or let's say physician offices, if you want to do it more so in the medical realm, to see if they are hiring for these particular positions. This is a great position to be able to have to do from home. Now, this next position is, I believe, among one of the highest in demand right now, and that is to become a virtual assistant. I have even seen different entrepreneurs start movements to whereas they are training different VAs to be able to start their own businesses in terms of having their own levels of clients. Now, one thing that I absolutely love about the concept of becoming a virtual assistant, or you'll hear in the online business world, a VA, is the fact that there are a lot of stay-at-home moms that really take advantage of this position in particular. Now, a VA is very much so like an administrative assistant position. So whereas you in many cases create content as well as answer emails for different small businesses or upcoming entrepreneurs. Now, virtual assistants are usually known as independent contractors as well. And I love that concept because you have to necessarily get stuck with working with just one client at a time. You can work obviously independently and take on several different clients if your schedule will allow for you to do that. And in that case, you can make a whole lot of money. I think that it's definitely important that you have a bit of a creative edge, especially if you're working with an entrepreneur as a VA, because most oftentimes you'll find that there are different things that you'll have to get into that require different levels of creativity in some cases when it comes to being a virtual assistant. Now, virtual assistants are known to make over $25,000 a year, all the way up to over $40,000 a year, or like I mentioned, it really depends on the amount of clients that you have as an independent contractor. Now, you can look into different websites like Upwork.com and Zirtual.com to look for these particular positions. Or if you're really brave, you can go ahead and look into connecting to, let's say, some entrepreneurs in the online space and possibly sliding into the DMs asking them if they are looking for a virtual assistant. Another idea that I'll go ahead and give you, if this is your particular passion, is that you could possibly go ahead and begin to start your own virtual assistant agency by making sure that you do the necessary research for the clients that you want to work with, but you could possibly really set up something great. I've seen a lot of virtual assistants take this concept and really utilize it on the online platform. And me being an online business builder, most oftentimes I have these type of people connect to me on my social media platform because they understand that there is work that I have that I can give them in terms of exactly what I do in my business. Now, it's important to understand that I think that a lot of people usually think that work from home jobs are a scam, but I think that more than ever, we understand that they are not. But I want to caution you to make sure that you do the necessary research, making sure that if you go on a job board to obtain a position, that you make sure that the job board is absolutely legit. And then at the same time, once a company reaches out to you, you can go ahead and really look on their website, do the necessary research, make sure that if you have to pay any fees for, let's say, anything that you need to be able to integrate into, let's say, your computer systems, or if you have to buy equipment that they'll say that they'll reimburse you for, making sure that those things are absolutely legit, because we don't have time to be scammed. So my advice would just be to do a massive amount of research. You could even check on the Better Business Bureau website to try to see if you can pull up the company to make sure that they're legit as well. But you just want to make sure that you don't go into a work from home position and you're not necessarily sure what kind of company it is, or whether or not they have the necessary integrity to be able to make you an employee. You definitely want to do your research. All right, ladies, now there's one more thing that I absolutely have to let you know, and that is I believe in you. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. If you need any information with regards to building an online business, I have an ebook that I've created, and I'll make sure that I put it in the description box down below so you can check it out and definitely simultaneously possibly get your online business up and running while you do your work from home position. I'll see you here again soon. Ciao.